Of BBI for the time being is in limbo. We respect, some of us as lawyers respect the verdict of the court. The Kenyans have heard, and I'm sure most Kenyans have accepted what has happened and are ready to move on. The bottom line is, I think there is no time to pursue this thing any further because there is no time even to follow up unless there are some legal issues that need to be clarified. Like, of course, the quorum issue as far as IBC is concerned, because that's something that really needs to be interpreted by the Supreme Court. We want to know whether any by-elections that have taken place since the resignation of the 3 or 4 commissioners are binding and are valid. Those are some of the issues that need to be looked at. In fact, I'm also very happy that they exonerated the president from personal liability. And that was the best thing to do. And at least that shows that there was at least some reasonable discourse as far as that is concerned. I can only say that I've seen people celebrating here in Narok. A few people have slaughtered goats and what have you, celebrate. But I'd like to tell them one thing. The political war has just begun. We are determined to ensure that the stand taken by Raila Odinga and President Kenyatta succeeds. We have got almost 10 months to go before the next election. And I can assure you, as a leader in Narok, that we shall stand by the handshake and that we shall give the so-called Tangatanga brigade a run for their money. Because one thing they should know is that that is not the decision of Tangatanga. It's not the decision of anybody else, but of the court for the benefit of all the Kenyan people. And the arguments were raised by Kenyans, not by Tangatanga. So when I see Tangatanga people gloating like they have succeeded, they're even ring-fencing God as if God only belongs to them, then you'll realize that these are very dangerous people to give leadership. Because when somebody talks about God all the time, but the actions are totally different and opposite from a religious person and religious perspective, then one will realize that that will be the wrong hands to lead this country to. As ODM in Narok, and as a Maasai community, we are there as members of ODM. We are there as Kenyans, and we are going to stand with the ODM to the end. We are going to stand with President Uhuru's vision, Raila Odinga's vision, to the very end. The BBI decision has been reached, but it's just the beginning of rebranding, our political rebranding, as a handshake, and the ODM and the people of Narok. So I can only say that we are ready to fight for our space, to fight for our political survival. And I can assure you, most Kenyans are with the duo of Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta. And what baffles me most is it has become a war between Uhuru, the President of Kenya, and Ruto, his deputy. It has become a war of wits between the two. It has actually become, a battle royal between the two. Because when you see that the deputy is at all times trying to undermine his boss, then one wonders what kind of a government you have. And I would like to call upon the deputy president and his team to resign and leave the government of Uhuru. Because what is the role that he's playing now? Why would he at all times entertain your given opportunity, undermine and ridicule the president of this country? If he really feels that the president has failed, if he feels that he has actually humiliated the president at every turn, why does he remain in his government? Why does he remain in his government? The only thing I can ask the other people who are looking for the presidency, that they I'll request them to really think about the Kenyan people, the Kenyan situation, the economy and everything else, and come together. Because if they lose that, if Mudavadi today and Kalonzo, because those are the only people I can say are serious contenders, and Raila, if they make the mistake of having the Tangatanga brigade take over the government, then their political life is over. Because personally, my own view, I've observed the Tangatanga brigade. I can assure Kenyans that if they take power, one, they'll remain for the 10 years. Two, they'll change the constitution like their master or their teacher, Museveni, did in Uganda. So the Kenyans who are celebrating now will come and cry tears of blood. That one I can assure Kenyans, because we have seen what has happened. When you talk about now corruption in this country, the grand corruption took place between 2017 and 2013 and 2017. There is nothing was left between those years and now. There was nothing. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. The country was already broke. The country was already broke. And the people who are running that government at that particular time are well known. In fact, the deputy president was like the president. I was in TNA within that time, during that 11th parliament. I was in TNA. And I can assure you, at that particular time, the person calling the shots was the deputy president. So when this country was going to the dogs, when the economy was collapsing, he was actually the one who was running the system and everything else. So when you now come and try to be an angel and even blame Raila and everybody else, and all that mud and mudslinging is, kind of thrown to the wrong people, I think it is not fair and it's not right. So I would like to call upon them to resign, go and start your own government or wait for 2022. But I can assure you, as Kenyans, that we have realized who are the real leaders and who are actually the ones who masquerade as leaders, hypocritical leaders, and those people who have done damage from 1992 to date. The only implication it will have is that there will be fewer consequences. The other dangerous thing is that our protected consequences, which might at the end of the day go. But when you talk about any other additional benefits to anybody, nothing. There is nothing, because the status quo remains. What has been going on since 2010 remains. Nothing has been subtracted from what was there and what's subsisting up to today. So there is not really much change. Reggae was just a symbolic term, because reggae is there, isn't it? Even as we are talking, reggae is still playing all over. Okay? What we can say is that it's just a temporary halting of the BBI. But I can assure you, immediately after 2022, we'll start afresh. As simple as that. It's just because I think BBI had a very important role to play, especially places like Central Province. They felt underrepresented, and that was a fact. And Uhuru, before leaving office, wanted to actually bring equality, so that they can get resources, they get extra constituencies and all that. They are saying they have lost a lot because of the population and what they are getting per man. Okay? Uhuru tried to make it for them. The day they realize they've lost a lot is the day they really know who made them lose that. Because when they were trying to get that, how many county assemblies rejected that thing was supposed to? It was just the pro-Ruto Kalenjin counties that actually did not vote for the BBI. So what does it say? They didn't want anything good for the Kikuyu people, for people of Central. They didn't want that. So one wonders, how does he say he loves them when he had the opportunity at that time to support their aspirations, but he rejected them? So it's not. They'll realize one day that they've lost a lot, because to get a chance again to get all those opportunities will take many, many years.